Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Everybody's working for the weekend. Taking care of business every day. Now it's wow, welcome to the working week.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Minimum wage. Yeah!
All right, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of The Working Lunch. I'm Sean McGauley.
You were far too early on that intro. You were far.
Bob was giving me
that flow. Bob, you're jumping the gun
He
here.
pointed at you. You didn't go with it, so
Oh, he was pointing. See, my
the
head
student
was down.
became the master.
Touché, my friend. So, well, welcome to another edition of The Working Lunch. This is, I believe, show number 11?
One of the new year,
One
right?
of the new year. Yes.
So happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone. How was your holiday, Sean?
It was excellent. And how about yourself?
It was great. I've got 3 young ones, as
Oh yeah.
some folks know out there. 3 little ones that this is the crazy time of year, right?
Yeah. And any New Year's resolutions this year?
Yeah. I'm not going to.
But
I
that's
am
top
not.
secret.
I am not. I think if you share them, they don't come true, right? Is that how it works, or is that wishes? I don't know.
Maybe.
So for those for maybe some new folks tuning in, the Working Lunch is about workforce development issues and job-related issues, but we do kind of go far afield from time to time. Is my microphone, Bob? Is my microphone level okay? Okay. So. So we do talk about a number of different things in the workforce realm and related to workforce, and we actually have on here our first guest is James Brooks, and James is the Healthy Homes Rehabilitation Specialist for the Executive Office of Economic Development here for the City of Worcester. Welcome to the show, James.
Thanks.
Oh, we can adjust that
Yeah,
down
there
here. Boy,
we go. There we go.
Thanks for having me today.
So tell me a little bit about the programs that you work with over there as the Healthy Homes Rehabilitation.
Sure, there's several programs. The biggest one we have right now is our lead paint abatement program.
Okay.
There's a little over $2 million grant-funded program for lead remediation.
And those are mainly federal dollars that
Those
come
are
in for that
federal
purpose?
dollars through HUD. Yep.
Okay. And now the issue of the dangers of lead paint goes back, geez, since what, like the 80s or?
Lead paint was actually banned in 1978. So
Yeah.
since then, lead paint hasn't been manufactured.
And I believe it's. I heard a number. I don't know if you have kind of top of your head. How many, what percent or how many homes in the Worcester area still have some sort of lead paint.
Sure. Yeah.
I heard that somewhere, and I was kind of shocked that there's still that many homes or apartments or units that have, lead paint. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because Worcester has a very old housing stock.
Yeah,
so-
Worcester has one of the oldest housing stocks in the country. Over 50% of the homes in Worcester are built before 1978. So there's a very large percentage of housing stock.
And back then, that was just the norm, right? To have paint.
It was actually considered the best quality paint there was. It's very durable. Problem is when it starts chipping and falls off. One of the big things with children is they have a lot of hand-to-mouth contact, rolling around on floors, sucking their thumb, that type of thing. So that's really
very common too to actually eat some of the paint or whatever.
Sure.
That was kind of one of the fears, right?
Exactly.
Back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah, and still is.
And Sean, you ever eat paint chips? I can't say that. Down in Uxbridge, I want to say that wasn't that
was
that
like
kind
a
of
big thing, yeah. It skipped me.
Yeah.
So homeowners can apply for these funds, or how does the process
They can.
work?
It's a federally funded program. You have to be income eligible through the HUD guidelines. And it's open to both owner-occupant households as well as investor households. With investors, the tenants have to qualify income-wise to participate.
So that's interesting. So even though an investor may own several apartments and not qualify as an individual themselves. The actual residents that are affected by the lead paint, I guess that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the program's really designed to help the tenants, especially with children in the property, regardless of the ownership interest, whether it's an investor or owner.
So what's the process? So do they have to like sandblast it out? And of course that would kind of make it worse, right?
Definitely do not want to sandblast it out. It's probably the worst thing you can do.
So how do they handle that?
Through Massachusetts, you actually have to have a D letter who's qualified. Do the work. That D letter has received a lot of training on the proper methods to protect both themselves as an employee or a contractor, and also the occupants of the property, to make sure when the occupants come back in that they're safe, and there's no.
So I imagine they kind of seal it off, and and
there's
then
a lot of
there's
plastic involved, a lot of cleaning. All D letters are pretty good cleaners.
Yeah.
They use a HEPA vacuum, which is a high efficiency vacuum. As well as other methods.
So they don't cover it; they scrape it or whatever to get to the bottom.
There's
or
several
do they
different methods.
Yeah.
You could either scrape it, you can replace a door or a window, or there is something called an encapsulant paint, which is pretty durable, but it's not a permanent solution.
Okay.
To fixing lead paint.
So these folks that go and do the work, I mean, I imagine they have some specialized training that they get for these types of jobs.
There's two types of training, really. There's a RRP training, which is a federal training for renovation, repair, and painting. That is really for almost anyone who works on a house built before 1978. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians, if they're disturbing some of that old lead paint, they should really be certified for that renovation, repair, and painting. For de-leading, there's actually a special de-leading license. There's a few different licenses, actually. There's a low-risk license, which a owner of a property can receive that license. Takes about a day of training to do. There's a moderate risk, which is a little bit more intense. You can replace some parts. And then also really what most professional D-letters are high-risk D-letters. That means they can pretty much do anything. They go in, with the full suit and the mask and everything.
It sounds like those, if you have lead throughout your apartment or house, that would be the...
Yeah, if you're going to do it as a contractor, really that's the approach you want to take, getting that full...
And they're the experts in it, so...
They are.
So again, how do folks out there that that maybe, not sure if they have lead,
sure.
What would they do to get it tested, or how would they inquire about the program?
They could call the Housing Development Division, 508-799-1400. We can kind of walk you through the process, get your applications, and we go from there. Once you qualify, the first thing that happens is a lead paint inspector comes out, which we send out, and they identify what areas of the home have lead, whether it's windows, doors, your siding outside. And then from there, what we do is we come up with a scope of work, basically what we're going to do to remediate the problem of lead. And then we actually assist in the bidding process. We have a group of pre-qualified contractors. There's about 16 right now on the list from all over the state. There is a lot of local contractors from both the city, Shrewsbury, Auburn, those areas that bid on the work. And it's a bid process, closed bid.
And they must have to be certified or whatever to show that they're bona fide.
There is, they have to be.
My cousin do it or whatever.
No. They all have to be high risk de-leading contractors. In addition, construction supervisors, which is the contracting license you need in Massachusetts. They have all their insurances, liability, workman's comp, and they're all members of the Better Business Bureau also.
So what's some of the other I know? So lead abatement is probably the biggest one. Are there other healthy? I noticed that it's not just lead nowadays.
No. Right now, through our grant, we also have what's called the Healthy Homes portion, which identifies other areas of the home that can cause health risks for both children and adults. Things like mold, asbestos. We also do rodent and mice and bed bug pest control. So we can do those.
Now I hear bed bugs have made a big comeback.
They're making a huge comeback.
Is there a reason for that, or Sean? You scoff at me.
It's just a weird thing for you to know. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people in my spare time, I am a bug technician. No, I forget where it might have. Oh, you know what it was? So my background, as some folks know, I worked with a residential youth program, training program called Job Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And so at one point, one of the centers in their dormitories, had to wear. I'm not even sure they had it. They were just afraid they had it. So I was working with the Department of Labor at the time. We had to go in and have inspections, and it's kind of a big deal, obviously, to have 300 young people living in a dorm and have bed bugs reported.
Yeah,
So.
and bed bugs are hitchhikers, so one person has it, everyone has it. After that, unless you know what you're looking for, they're somewhat hard to detect, and they can spread pretty rapidly.
With a lot of these healthy home projects, do you have some sort of timeline, or would residents be expected to be out of the home, or is some of it where they can do a lead abatement in a portion of the house and they can still live in the other portion?
Again, it depends on the project itself, whether maybe we're just replacing one window, we don't have to scrape any lead.
Yeah.
Usually what happens, so your typical triple decker, they usually do one unit at a time. So say unit 1, they're doing the de-leading, the residents are in that unit. 2 and 3 can still live there, and then they just kind of trade off as they go. So we try to prevent as much disruption as possible.
Now, what about your background? How did you get where you're at? What's the career kind of pathway?
Sure. I actually went to college in Vermont. I have a degree in business administration and also recreation resource management. Originally, I was going to be either in the ski industry, hotel, motel industry. Around when I was 22, 23, I came back in the area. Started actually.
So you grew up?
I grew up in Hopkinton.
Okay.
Went to school in Vermont, and then came back after college, a few years after college.
And so up in Vermont, I think it's mandatory for anyone that goes to college in Vermont to take some sort of environmental awareness, right? Is that?
Well, at the school I went, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But
see, there you
but
go.
Yeah,
There's
they're
a,
big into
a class on bed bugs,
bed
I
bugs.
think.
No, yeah. So green energy, all that stuff is really.
So then, as a young man, you came back.
Started investing in real estate. Started my own contracting company.
Wow.
Grew from there.
And did you do some of these? Some of the.
I actually ran into it in one of the properties I own. We needed to de-lead it, and rather than contract it out, I got my license and kind of went from there.
Wow. And so, did you start doing bidding on other jobs?
I did. Yep.
So you saw it's very entrepreneurial of you. You saw an opportunity, saw a niche there that you could get into, and went for it.
Yeah, that and just started to do mold remediation and all the other things associated with it. So
and then you saw there was a job with the city family opened up.
Yeah, well, I got two young sons now, so when you own your own company, it's 24/7.
Yeah.
So I take a little break from that and work with the city and
Sure.
get things going here in the city.
That's great. Anything you want? Any maybe we do have a little of a game to play with you. We play games with all our guests here before they leave. But before we get to that, any other parting shots or anything that we haven't covered that you think the public might be interested in, either from a standpoint of getting their home checked for whatever issue they may be having, or getting into the industry? I don't know if there's any other.
Sure. For homeowners, again, the first step, you can call us directly, 508-799-1400, and you can be directed to either myself or Tim Hansen, who's the other lead paint person. We also do have other programs going on in the city, in Union Hill area, right around Worcester Academy. We have an owner-occupant rehabilitation program going on.
Bob Z, that's your home stomping grounds from back in the day, right? And so what's that about? How does that, is there special, some special programs or?
Sure, there is, as you know, the city is kind of really looking at Union Hill to do some revitalization in the area.
We're watching you, Union Hill. Got our eyes on you.
So there is some special programs up there that we can do more.
And of course, Worcester Academy has been a long time mainstay up there, and is from what I understand, re-engaging, if you will, with the neighborhood there and helping with some improvements.
They're actively talking in the city about doing some projects up there. Also, the city's gonna this spring and summer, you'll see some paving and some other
great. I have a shout out to my sister Deb, who who lives on Providence Street and is looking forward to some of those streetscaping improvements and all that. So it's one of those old Worcester neighborhoods that a lot of people fall in love with when they come here to the city. So
And we also have a down payment assistance program, which can help income qualified individuals kind of get the down payment they need. That's usually one of the big stumbling blocks buying a property is coming up with that down payment. You can afford the monthly payment, but that down payment, big chunk of money. So we do have a down payment assistance program.
I know one thing
also.
we're trying to we've been talking to the city's economic development folks, Paul Morano and company, about maybe a better integration of some of the services that housing and neighborhood services provides to our career center customers that come in. Maybe you've just found a job, or maybe you're getting a promotion or whatever. There might be an opportunity to take advantage of some of these other programs that you have. So at least being aware of kind of the services and programs that are out there couldn't hurt our customers. So well, thank you for coming. Before we let you go, though, Sean has a little game we're going to play with you there.
As
Sean,
a
you
tradition,
ready?
we always do some sort of game, job-related game with our guests. So today we've got a twist on an old favorite. We've got a famous person who was fired from one of their jobs, and we've got a couple of reasons why they might have been fired, and your job is to guess which one is the real reason they were fired. So today we've got Walt Disney, and he was fired from his job at the Kansas City Star before becoming rich and famous. What was he fired for? And the choices we have are: he often missed deadlines and was caught doodling cartoons, his work contained too many typos and mistakes, or his manager thought his work lacked imagination and good ideas. So we'll give you a second to think those over. Yeah, we need some music.
Think
for
it
that.
Let's go with C there, the last one.
That's correct.
Wow. Hey, we got a winner.
Walt Disney's manager thought he lacked imagination and good ideas.
So you'll be receiving a special mug.
All right.
It'll come via special delivery, special courier sometime over there to your office at City Hall. Yeah, we'll get you. Remind me to get you that mug. And again, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it for telling us about the programs that are out there.
And if I could just say that number one more time, it's 508-799-1400. That number will get you to any of the programs I talked about today.
So let's get folks to give you a call and take advantage of these great programs that are available. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Michael.
I think we're going to go right to our next guest. You might have seen him on TV in the background here taking some photos. Eric Ledger. Come on down. Come on, a game show.
Down.
Come on down.
Price is right.
So Eric can get you set up with some headphones there.
All right, let me adjust everything here.
All right, how we doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So we appreciate you've been a great supporter of our office and a lot of the work that we're doing and IT stuff. I know Sean has been working very closely with you there. So
Yep. Eric has actually helped with Workforce Central and developing their new website, and he's actually teamed up with us to redo the CMWIB website.
So ours is a work in progress still, but
It currently is, right.
But if folks go on the Workforce Central site, which I believe is workforcecentralma.org, they'll be able to see the handiwork of you and the crew, which is top notch.
Yeah, and it really ties it into the city's website, the different format, and we're really excited about that. So I know we've been working with